Hey everybody, this is Jamie Casarda here, your holistic pet mentor, and I just noticed that my earphones are very tangled, so it's a little distracting for me. So anyhow, today I wanted to discuss essential oil safety for cats, and the reason this topic is coming up is because many of you awesome people have messaged me about essential oil safety in cats, and particularly about a viral post that's going around about a cat named Ernie. And Sue Murray had made a post a couple days ago with some concerns about the senior cat, Ernie, and I can totally relate. Hi Andy, how are you? Now, for those of you who've been following me for a while, like you, Andy, you guys all know that I have a senior cat myself, and that's my Buddha kitty. He's actually here in the room with me. He was meowing out in the hallway. Hey Tasha. He was meowing out in the hallway, so I brought him into the room so he wouldn't wake up my kids. But you also know that if you've been following me for a while, that I'm an avid user of essential oils in cats. I'm a huge fan of it, in fact. But I love that you guys are asking me about the safety because it shows. Oh, it's all right, Dash. It shows that you guys love your pets and that you care about them, and you want to make sure that you're using everything safely. And you know, there's thousands of people using essential oils safely around their cats, and it only takes one post to really get people concerned. And you know, I'm glad that Sue brought this topic up, and I can definitely lend my experience. Now, I have seen both sides of healthcare for pets, right? I was a licensed veterinary technician for over 12 years, and I've seen how medications can affect animals, and I've been using holistic pet care practices for the last 4 years. And I started Holistic Pet Mentor 2 years ago because there was a very big need for people to have support in using essential oils safely for their pets. Frankly, that's why I do this, because there's a lot of misinformation that gets passed around, and my heart goes out to Sue and her family with their concern over Ernie. I'm glad to see that he's doing okay. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, that's why I'm addressing it, because I keep getting messages about that post, and so Sue's pretty famous right now, Sue and Ernie. Yeah, they can come my way, ask me about their questions, but you can absolutely use your essential oils safely in your cats. There's no need to be afraid. Just like anything, dose is the main thing, right? It's just like anything. If your veterinarian prescribed too high a dose of an antibiotic or a pain medication, it would be toxic to your cat. Now, in this case, there's a lot of information that's missing from the post, and you know, it's no fault of Sue's. She's just posting what she knows and out of her own concern. However, you should never buy essential oils from Amazon. That's step number one. Never buy your essential oils from Amazon, because you truly do not know what you're going to get. There is some evidence that there's been essential oils that have been tampered with and adulterated, and you just don't want to take that risk. If you're going to buy essential oils, you want to buy them directly from the company or through a direct sales distributor like myself. So that way you can have a guarantee on those oils that they're pure and not tampered with, okay? That's why I decided to be a distributor of essential oils, because I want to make sure that you guys are getting the good stuff, right? Now, you want to make sure your essential oils are pure and that they have third-party testing, and that the company is very transparent about where they're getting their essential oils, what kind of tests they're doing on them, and also they have to be willing to show those tests and back it up, right? Now, I choose to use doTERRA essential oils. I love the company. I think they have great integrity. I love that they back up all their essential oils. They guarantee their purity. They do third-party testing. And I know where all the essential oils come from. So I feel very confident using them in my cat, and I know that they're pure. So that's the key. There's a lot of essential oils out there that are adulterated. There's actually thousands of essential oil companies, and many of them are getting their oils through middlemen, and the middlemen can create some problems with tampering with the oils or undercutting the growers and things like that. So that's why I choose to use a company that doesn't do that. They go directly to the growers and support them, and we know every step of the process. So I'm very confident in the essential oils that I use around my pet and for myself and for my family. And I wanted to add that I understand that Dr. Rourke has addressed this issue with Ernie as well on her Facebook page, Essential Oil Vet. And I didn't get to watch all of her posts, but I'm really glad that she's done that because she has that veterinary perspective as well. And I'm coming from it as a veterinary technician and also a person who uses essential oils on my cat and around my cat, and I diffuse every day. I actually have about 10 or 11 diffusers in my house. My cat has free reign of the house. He has the basement and 2 floors, so he's allowed access to the whole house, and he can pick and choose what room he is going to be in. I also use the oils on him topically, highly diluted for his digestive tract to help support, the everyday hairball problem that cats can have. So he's never had any problems. In fact, they have greatly supported his health over the last 4 years. So I just wanted to reassure you guys, you got a couple perspectives here from people who are not just guessing. We're not just making this stuff up. We know that the essential oils are safe. Another thing I can tell you is that for the past 2 years, the local animal shelter that I've been working with, they have been diffusing essential oils around the cats all day, every day. And the cats have never been healthier in their care. So we actually use the oils. This started a little over 2 years ago when I was approached with the question, can these essential oils help support the cat's immune systems? They had a pretty bad outbreak of a virus in the cat isolation room. And the cats were actually just passing away on their own. They were extremely ill. Yeah, you can hear them, right? Thank you. And they were getting some pretty severe sores on their mouth, and they had mucus and all kinds of problems like that. So the shelter was pretty desperate. They're there because they love animals. They want to keep them healthy and doing well and get them out for adoption. And, it's very hard to do that if the cats are stressed and have immune problems and a highly contagious problem going around. So they just asked if there were any oils that could help support the cats during this, and I had made some suggestions with diffusion. Now, when I diffuse essential oils, I suggest 3 drops every 4 hours in the diffuser as a maximum dose if it's in a confined area. All right, so if you're specifically diffusing for your cat in a confined room and you're doing it for a specific reason, like I've done this for a little stray kitten before who had some upper respiratory conjunctivitis type stuff, and I diffused in the bathroom with the cat, but only 3 drops every 4 hours is like a maximum dose that I would do. So we don't know all the details in the post about Ernie, and we don't know what kind of oil, where she was getting it from, what brand. We know Amazon, that's all we know. So I just wanted to point that out and help ease your minds, as long as you're using that pure essential oil and you're following that rule of thumb, the 3 drops every 4 hours. If you're specifically diffusing for your cat, you're going to be fine. I say stay away from oils like Melaleuca, wintergreen, birch. She also posted that she saw that rosemary was safe. That's not one I recommend for cats. So just a lot of misinformation, and that's why it's really important that we have this discussion about the information that's out there, okay? You want to make sure that when you're getting information about pet care and essential oils that it's a reputable source. It's from somebody who's actually used essential oils in pets, understands physiology and anatomy, and understands toxicity in cats, and has experience in it. So pets, and it's pretty certain that she hadn't come to me for recommendation. Oh, sorry about that interruption, everybody. We got it just timed out, or got a disruption in my internet, but if you guys ever have any questions about essential oils or dosing, give Buddha some camera time. Okay, Andy. All right. Just feel free to ask me. You can definitely use essential oils safely in your cats. And I do have some graphics posted on this page, if you go under the pictures, you can see the oils that I recommend that I feel are very safe to use around your cats, and those that I don't recommend to use around cats. So, all right, where's Buddha? Buddha is sitting right here on my messy storage box, and he's very noisy. That's one of his main characteristics, is he's a noisy boy. He's doing quite well, Andy. How long a time? Oh, hi. Hey, Jeannie. How long of a time would I suggest to diffuse for? Well, there really is no limit on diffusing unless you have the cat confined. So if you have your cat confined in a room and you're diffusing for a very specific purpose, I say no more than 3 drops every 4 hours. So you can diffuse 24 hours a day, but no more than 3 drops every 4 hours for cats. And I recommend switching up the oils. So I do not diffuse the same oil 24/7. Okay, so maybe one day you would diffuse Arbor Vitae, and the next day you would diffuse On Guard, and the next day you would diffuse frankincense, and then you would go back to Arbor Vitae. At the animal shelter, we even diffuse oregano, and it's actually on the list of oils that I recommend not to use on cats. That's because it's a hot oil, okay? And so we save it for usages in like cat isolation where there's a high probability of cats coming in with health problems, and they need a lot of immune support, and so 3 drops every 4 hours. So diffuse for straight 4 hours. Yeah, I would do 4 hours. If you want to give it a break, like an hour in between. And of course, don't use Melaleuca, peppermint, or citrus oils. I don't use any stimulating oils if I can help it. So, yeah, or cinnamon. So I kind of stay away from that. That's if I was diffusing for that very purpose. Now, On Guard does have cinnamon in it, and I love using On Guard at the animal shelter. I love using On Guard mixed with Arbor Vitae. I think it's a powerhouse for immune support, but I don't use Melaleuca around cats. I rather use Arbor Vitae. I feel like it's a safer option. So you do actually have lots of options with your cats. The lavender oil that I get from doTERRA, extremely safe for cats, never had a problem. Used it for many, many cats, senior cats. People seem to come to me with their senior cat issues and never had an issue with lavender. It's been my favorite oil to use with cats, and they tend to take to it really well. However, it's got to be diluted, okay? So that's the key point, as proper dosage, proper usage. Staying away from the stimulating oils. The stimulating oils are all the minty smells, so we know that rosemary is very minty. Now, eucalyptus is actually pretty mild when you diffuse 3 drops, okay? It's actually pretty mild, and it can help a cat that can't breathe very well. So if you have a cat that needs help breathing normally, breathing clear, and maintaining clear airways, then eucalyptus can be your friend. So 3 drops in a water diffuser, okay? Charlie's mom used eucalyptus. Yep, I use eucalyptus all the time. I use eucalyptus on a regular basis around Buddha. In fact, I diffuse all the oils around Buddha. He's never had a problem. Never. But if I had to confine him in a room for whatever reason to treat a specific issue or to support him in a very specific way, I wouldn't choose any minty oils. And I also don't like to use too many oils topically. I make heavily diluted sprays for cats, and I will use it to like clean their mouth. But I don't put the essential oils in their water specifically every day. I make homemade cleaners for his litter box, so never had any issues. I'm telling you, my family is well oiled. My kids have essential oils all over them. People tell me, they're like, "You smell like essential oils." In fact, I went into a store the other day, and the woman behind the counter goes, "Do you use essential oils?" And I was like, "Yes, how do you know?" And she's like, "You smell so good." I'm like, wow, okay. I don't even notice it anymore. So my cat's never had a problem. He's all over us all the time. In fact, he's amazing. He's an amazing cat. There he is. There he is. There's my old man. So, All right, any other questions? I hope everybody feels at ease. Thank you all for your questions and concerns and for being such awesome pet owners and being diligent and checking in. I appreciate that. And I know a lot of you are wellness advocates as well, and you're getting questions and you're like, Jamie, what do I say? So I'm really grateful that you are helping to dispel the fear, okay? And we don't want to create fear around something that is such a blessing and can help so many people, right, with their pets. So I'm just grateful for all of you in this wonderful community. Thank you so much for entrusting me with your pet care and your holistic advice for your pets. I absolutely love it. Like I said, extremely confident in using my essential oils around my cat and around all the cats at the animal shelter. We've helped literally thousands of cats. Thousands! So how's that for a confidence boost with using your essential oils? Thanks, Andy. I hope that helps. I hope that helps people. Again, it's about the purity and the dosage, and make sure that when you talk to somebody about advice with essential oils, that they've actually used oils in cats before and they're not just guessing, or it's something that they read from some random post without a lot of details. So we just want to make sure that people understand. And I just thought too, I was like, one person can create quite a ruckus, right? When there's actually thousands of people who've used essential oils, hundreds of thousands at this point, of well-oiled cats that have not had any issues. There's a lot more side effects from medication, people, right? A lot more. So thank you all for being diligent pet owners, and you guys have a fantastic night. Thank you.